Breaking news tonight on ABC 17 News at 5. Right now, 2 suspects are in custody after a high-speed chase in Jefferson City. Just before 2 this afternoon, Cole County deputies followed a car from West Truman Boulevard to a rock quarry at Cross Key Court and Catalina Drive. About 24 officers responded, along with the Missouri State Highway Patrol helicopter. ABC 17's Daniel Wynn was on the scene as the suspects were arrested. He joins us live from there now. And Daniel, sheriffs say the suspects have been turned over to federal authorities.
Yeah, just in the past couple of minutes, we can now confirm the DEA has taken over this investigation. Like you said, it all started about 1:30 this afternoon. Witnesses tell me they saw this chase start about 1:30 at Hy-Vee there on Truman Boulevard, and then it ended right here off of Catalina Drive. Take a look at this. This is where they left the roadway and came into a quarry. Some pretty rough road right here. The car, they tell me, just pretty much fell apart. This is part of the suspect's car. They went down into the quarry and ended up being taken into custody down there in that gully. Now, we have some cell phone footage of this chase, of this pursuit, and you have to look closely in this cell phone footage. If you look in the middle of your screen, you can see the suspect's car where they abandoned it in that scene that I just showed you, and then you can see a suspect running into the woods. You can hear the sirens in the background of multiple units responding. In all, there had to be at least 25 to 30 units responding to the scene. Sheriff Greg White himself was here in West Jefferson City on the scene. Highway patrol units, Cole County deputies, the city police were all here assisting in this DEA manhunt. Now, the highway patrol helicopter was in the air over this scene for almost more than an hour as they searched for the suspects. Initially, police took one of the men into custody almost immediately after they abandoned their car, but the search then wrapped up about 3:30 as they took the other suspect into custody. Now, neighbors in this upper middle class subdivision tell me they were shocked because this is very out of the ordinary. Their neighborhood is just really quiet.
A car and then several police cars chasing it that went down this outer road over here down to this quarry, and neighbors came up and looked down, and what we seen was a car that was up against the quarry, and police cars surrounded it.
Now, the suspects' names have not yet been released because of the DEA taking over the investigation. It's still unclear when we might get more information to find out just what happened today. Reporting live in Jefferson City, Daniel Wynn, ABC 17 News.
Wow, thank you, Daniel. We have some other breaking news for you out of Jefferson City. Right now, authorities are searching for a suspect after an armed robbery at 1701 London Way. We know the suspect took about $6,000 from a home before taking off in a white Ford Fiesta. ABC 17's Ashley Strohmeyer is at the scene. And Ashley, what's happening out there?
Well, Dana, right now I am on Lafayette, right across from Lincoln's campus. The suspect, one of the suspects at least that we know of, was arrested right here in this lawn. What we know so far, and it's still a little unclear, allegedly someone walked into someone's home on London Way, which is on the west end of town. Keep in mind, we're on the east end of town where the suspect was arrested, held him at gunpoint and stole $6,000. It's still unclear if the two people knew each other. It's unclear if there were more people involved as far as suspects. We do know one person was arrested. Actually, you can see right here, there are tire tracks from where Lincoln police came to help Jefferson City police, and they arrested him back here in the corner of this lot. Like I said, there are still some things that are unclear, but I'm going to contact some police and see if there is anything else we can find out, and we'll keep you updated and bring you that at 6. Live in Jefferson City, Ashley Strohmeyer, ABC 17 News.
Thank you, Ashley. We'll update you on both of those stories here as we learn more here on KMIZ, as well as Twitter, Facebook, and ABC17news.com. Well, we had nice sunny skies today, but starting tomorrow, many mid-Missouri counties could be dealing with snow. ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray is tracking that snow here in your first full complete forecast. Sharon?
You know, that's right. We have a wintry weekend coming up, and the weather headlines reflect two things: the Arctic air coming in and the snow chance for tomorrow, and we have snow likely for Sunday. So looking at this, you can see we've got bitterly cold air moving in. That is going to continue to drop in as we head into tomorrow. I'll have to come back to those because one of the elements there decided not to show up, but I'll come back to the weather headlines. And right now you can see temperatures are in the 40s. We have a very nice evening here, but as I mentioned, those temperatures are going to be dropping tomorrow. So enjoy the mild evening we have tonight, because by tomorrow we'll see that Arctic air moving in and that snow, and I have a track of it here in just a second. Here's the out the door forecast. Temperatures this evening, not too bad. In fact, it'll stay mostly clear, but we will see some clouds moving in after midnight tonight. Temperatures tonight stay in the 20s. It won't be as cold, and the winds will stay light in the overnight hours. Now, here's what's going on. Right now, we have our clear skies, but to the north, we have yet another cold front getting ready to come in. This is our Arctic front. That's going to push to the south, and you see the snow right here along this. This is going to slide into our eastern counties by tomorrow morning. This is what I was trying to show you in those weather headlines. So starting with tonight, watch as I put future track into motion. We have our clear skies now. As we go into the morning hours, you'll notice this band of light snow. That's ahead of that Arctic front, or right along that boundary. That could clip our eastern counties and bring a dusting of snow. So it'll be similar to what we saw this morning, only it won't affect our western counties as much as our east, where we could get a dusting. This is 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, temperatures tomorrow actually climb a little bit before they start to drop. By afternoon, watch these numbers, as by 6 in the evening, we're already down into the teens to near 20, with wind chills approaching 0 by tomorrow evening. The wind is going to pick up and become gusty. It's going to be kind of a miserable day. In fact, if you're heading out tomorrow evening, it'll be windy and very cold. It'll stay dry tomorrow evening, but snow moves in Sunday. And I have an hour-by-hour track, and I'll show you how much we expect for Sunday coming up in my next weather here in 10 minutes. Next week looks fairly dry, with just a couple of small light snow chances and another cold week ahead.
All right, thank you, Sharon. Now, the snow last night caused some problems this morning for drivers. Just from midnight to noon today, there were over 30 accidents in Columbia. And with more snow headed this way for the weekend, you may want to be careful where you leave your car. Officials at Columbia Public Works want to remind residents about the priority snow routes in the area. Those are the major streets road crews treat first if there are 2 inches or more of snow. Some of those roads include Blue Ridge, Derby Ridge, Garth Avenue, Nifong, Forum, and Broadway.
We want our customers to go ahead and move the cars, because when they do, we can get those priority routes done much faster. If we have 4 inches or more snow after that, we can get into the residential areas much quicker.
If you leave your car on one of these routes, you could be towed or receive a $100 fine. Crews are on standby to clear the roads once that snow moves in on Sunday. You can usually find a map of those snow routes on GoColumbiaMo.com, but the site is still not working after a cyber attack. City officials say it's working, but we've been trying to gain access to it all day, and it's still down right now. Columbia's IT department says a distributed denial of service attack took the site down. This is a second cyber attack on Go Columbia Mo. Back in December, the site was down for nearly 3 days. Looking at news around America tonight, lawmakers continue to struggle over future funding for the Department of Homeland Security. The agency could shut down if a funding deal is not reached by the end of the month. Many Republicans want to tie future funding with stopping President Obama's executive actions on immigration. In Texas, the man accused in former Navy SEAL Chris Kyle's shooting death told a detective after the crime that he was worried about his mental state. Police say Eddie Routh was sitting in Kyle's stolen truck when he told the detective, quote, "I don't know if I'm going insane." Photos of Routh's apartment were also presented today, showing drug paraphernalia and ammunition. Chris Kyle's career was just depicted in the Oscar-nominated movie American Sniper. The suspect in a UVA student's kidnapping and murder also appeared in court today. Jesse Matthews is charged with first-degree murder and abduction with the intent to defile and the death of Hannah Graham. Officials say today's hearing was mostly for the two sides to come together and work towards setting a trial date. Graham disappeared September 13th. Her remains were found in October on an abandoned property 8 miles from the UVA campus.
Just ahead on ABC 17 News at 5, where the news comes first.
Tonight, one Mid-Missouri fire department is changing its fitness standards. Hear how firefighters are now required to do. Plus, the deadline to sign up for health care under the Affordable Care Act might be sooner than you think. Find out when you need to be covered coming up. Tonight, a Mid-Missouri Fire Department is stepping up its fitness standards. This summer, all employees of the Jefferson City Fire Department will be required to perform a physical assessment test. It's something that hasn't been required in the past. ABC 17's Lindsay Burning talked with officials with the department. And Lindsay, they've already started preparing for the test.
Dana, all 72 active duty employees will be required to do the physical assessment test in mid-May, something that only new hire candidates have had to do in the past. In the meantime, all employees from firefighters up to captains are preparing by taking part in a new fitness program. That includes exercising an hour each day and going to fitness trainings. Fire Chief Matt Schofield says his goal is to meet the National Firefighter Protection Association regulations for fitness.
For us, fitness is a high priority, not just in increasing our performance for the community that we serve, but also as we work together in a team type of environment. We rely on each other to be able to perform a very physical task, and so we know that it's an important thing for us to be able to do and do well.
The physical assessment test is made up of 7 steps that simulate what firefighters have to do in real-life situations. That includes things like carrying heavy medical bags, pulling a charged hose line, going up several flights of stairs with a 60-pound high-rise pack, dragging a 160-pound dummy, and more. Chief Schofield says even though there was some hesitation to the new fitness program at first, everyone has warmed up to the idea.
You know, there have been some folks that I think anytime you introduce change, there's always some resistance. But I think it's interesting that a lot of those folks that initially had resistance now understand the value.
Joel Swader, one of the 3-shift health and fitness coordinators, says 57% of firefighter deaths are from heart disease, and 80% of all firefighter injuries are sprained or strained muscles.
Fitness is not just about lifting weights and running fast. We wanted to reach out and educate guys on stretching, mobility, nutrition, and things like that.
Swader says the department has had several training sessions the last 6 months on stretching, exercise techniques, and more. And a nutritionist will be giving a presentation within the next month. Assistant Fire Chief Lonnie Brandt is the longest-standing employee with 42 years of service with the fire department. He says although he stays in good shape, he's already seen a difference in mobility from the stretching. He plans to go out with a bang by taking the test the morning of May 13th and retiring that afternoon.
I'm going to set the all-time record for my age bracket in this, and then I'll probably beat most of the guys that are 20 or 30 years younger. I just want to let them know that.
Chief Schofield says this year it's not a pass-fail test. Firefighters won't have to meet a certain time requirement. They just have to complete it. But in the future, he says each employee may have to meet a time standard for their age bracket as they ease into the fitness program.
Thank you, Lindsay. Chief Schofield says they will record the results of this year's test and see what the department needs to improve upon in the coming years.
Well, we have some very cold temperatures heading in for the weekend. I'll show you the out-the-door forecast for your Saturday, along with a track of the snow coming in tomorrow and again Sunday. Next.
It was a nice-ish day for February today. Nice sunny skies, but, you know, tomorrow, Valentine's Day, different story.
It is.
It's going to be cold.
Wind, the afternoon really looks cold. I mean, the wind picks up. Tomorrow morning won't be so bad, but then as you head into the afternoon, that's when you'll really notice the change. Outside right now, though, it's beautiful out there. We have 45 degrees at the Lake of the Ozarks, getting ready for a nice sunset. 43 in Columbia with a nice clear sky out there. So we've got a pleasant evening. If you're heading out for your Friday evening, the temperatures will only drop through the 30s this evening and then into the 20s tonight. Those 20s, though, are about the best we're going to do tomorrow, although we may actually hit close to 30 or just above 30 south of Interstate 70. Those temperatures don't last as the cold air comes in, and you can see how the wind picks up tomorrow. Here's the out-the-door forecast. In the morning, we have light northwesterly winds, but look at this. By the time lunchtime comes around, that wind's near 18 miles an hour, and we'll have gusts occasionally near 30 tomorrow as temperatures fall in the afternoon. By 3 o'clock, we're at 23 degrees, and that wind is going to make it feel more like 9 at 3 in the afternoon and continuing to drop rather quickly. The wind chill is going to be a problem here tomorrow late in the day. This is the 3 o'clock wind chills, and you can see how they're already dropping into those single digits by 3 in the afternoon to the lower teens. And as we go through the night, that wind, it subsides a little bit, but it's going to be awfully cold as the temperatures fall. We'll see wind chills just close to 0 or just below 0 by 6 in the evening tomorrow evening, and overnight as low as 12 below 0 in our northern counties. So you'll have to really bundle up if you have to be outdoors here through Sunday. The coldest air comes in, and highs Sunday stay in the lower teens. Yeah. It's going to be bitter. Here's Sunday morning. Now, the snow is still forecast to come in. I think these first bands you're seeing here on Future Track might not make it to the ground, but as we go through the morning and into the afternoon, the snow will eventually start making it to the ground and start to become more steady. 10 o'clock in the morning, though, perhaps a few flakes coming down, starting to pick up in our western counties, and this is noon Sunday. There may be some bands in here of moderate snow, very thin bands, which it's tough to determine exactly where those are going to fall. But those could bump the totals up a little bit. But overall, we're looking at a light snow event here that ends Sunday evening. Snow tapers off. 1 to 2 inches from Columbia, possibly 2, maybe a little over 2 northward, 1 inch or less in our far northeastern counties, and 2 to 3 south of Interstate 70. I think there could be a couple spots that might squeak out 4 inches of snow. But most spots, I'm thinking 1 to 2, perhaps up to 3 south. Next 7 days, well, it's drier to start next week. The week still stays cold, though. It's not until next Friday we see a warmer day. But as far as snow chances, they're very small chances for Tuesday morning and Wednesday night.
You know what? Now that it's past Christmas, they can just keep the snow. I don't want it anymore.
Want spring, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sharon. The deadline to sign up for health coverage under the Affordable Care Act is quickly approaching. Plus, a former NFL player accused of hitting his wife is now apologizing. Hear what he has to say next. In a consumer alert, you have just 2 days left to sign up for health care under the Affordable Care Act. Applicants have until Sunday to get covered with the federal marketplace. Those who don't have health insurance by Monday will face financial penalties. You can access healthcare.gov website around the clock to get signed up for 2016. Tonight, former Baltimore Ravens running back Ray Rice is apologizing for his domestic violence arrest last year. In a letter published today, Rice said he was sorry for disappointing the kids that looked up to him and asked for forgiveness. Rice was arrested last year after punching his then-fiancée in a casino elevator. The Ravens terminated his contract back in September when surveillance video of the incident surfaced. Sharon will have another look at your weekend forecast when we come back. Coming up on ABC 17 News at 6 tonight, Governor Nixon is trying to get more students interested in science and math. We'll tell you about his latest plans, which include a new program for schools.
Well, we have a pretty nice evening, but that's not going to last. There's the out-the-door forecast. Temperatures tonight aren't bad. We only drop into the 20s with the light winds. However, tomorrow we could see some snow in our eastern counties up until about mid-morning tomorrow. And then, and if we do get that snow, it'd be a dusting at best. That moves out, and again, east of 63 in the morning. And then that 30 you're seeing there, that's in the morning hours. By lunchtime, the temperatures start falling rather quickly. The north wind picks up tomorrow, and that ushers in that Arctic air, bringing us down to the single digits tomorrow night. Wind chills as low as 10, 12 below zero in our northern counties. Sunday, we still have snow in the forecast. It's looking likely at this point, and anywhere from 1 to 3 inches expected in mid-Missouri. It is going to be bitterly cold Sunday, only in the lower teens for high temperatures. So yeah, bundle up this weekend. Maybe you stay indoors and watch a good movie.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sharon. And thank you for watching. Have a good night and happy Valentine's Day.